Nico!
What are games? Who are we? What are we coming from? We come from the stars. Who are we? We're just little beings, like planets, of 2 trillion galaxies that we can see. Games are nothing but passing by time. Figure out what more there is to explore. Decent answers there.
Two minutes, Nico.
Do it.
Hold on to your butt.
For Carl!
Let's fade that out. Hey, welcome everybody. It is SnowRunner Wednesday. It is the final SnowRunner Wednesday. God damn it, Nico. Of season 12. Well, let me grab it while it's hot. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Coffee Monkey and Lana 5280. Hey, welcome in, Master Jedi. This one's for Carl.
For Carl!
That is a good one. And thank you for your legally obligated resub. Legally? Probably not. Oh no, KDP's doing it. Hey, Badgery, welcome in. I'd like to introduce you to the Coffee Monkey. Ooh. Okay, still hot. This is going well. This is we're off to a good start. I am doing well. we had a minor incident about a year ago. We lost an ear, but we try not to say it too loudly around him because he gets really self-conscious about it. But he still serves it up. Hey, KDP, thank you for the non-legally required resub. Keeping the Nemesis closer. I don't think I have a trigger just for Nemesis on its own. Let me Pop that in. No, mine doesn't do the sound effect anymore. But hey, thank you for the follow, Badgery. I'll try to get you some content here in a little bit, but first, I got so much yammering to do because we've got news. We've got news in the news today. Don't worry, this is the fun news, not real news. God forbid the real news. What do? I got a button for that. I got a button.
I'm driving my truck.
Drive your truck faster, sir.
There you go. Aside from that, though, and actually that plays into today's news here.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Oh, there's no snow. There is no snow. I'm sorry, old bacon face. There's just no damn snow. Yet. Season 13, maybe. I don't know. It's just around the corner. So, related to what do I do in my spare time, I work as a software developer. I started my new job after my prior company decided on 10 days notice that it was tired of operating, so it was going out of business. So in November, I started a new job. As of today, I have been notified I somehow qualified for the first round of raises, which they officially take effect, as a matter of fact, on Friday, but I won't see the pay for that until almost the end of March, because the way they do pay periods is weird. So it's going to be like 3 weeks until I actually see the raise, but it starts effective on Friday. And there is the anniversary bonus that everyone gets that I won't see again until November, but there's a discretionary bonus that gets issued when they do pay raises, right after the beginning of the year, 2-3 months after the beginning of the year, whatever it takes. And on my review form, I got a review, even though I only worked 2 months out of last year. So my boss has said the whole time, you're going to get one because you were here in 2023, but you are automatically going to get a middle ranking. I think there's 5 different levels. You're getting the middle one that says, yep, you are doing what we hired you to do. Nice job. They call it strong because if they called it average, everyone would feel sad, I think is kind of how that goes. So anyway, on my sheet, it says that I'm theoretically eligible for the bonus, which was a nice big bonus for the year, all things considered. So we had a little conversation about all this. He says, now when I started, I worked the last 4 months out of the year, and I got the notice that I was eligible for the great big bonus, but they prorated me for the 4 months that I was there out of the 12. Now, having said that, you were only there for the last 2, and actually it was really only like the last 7 weeks of the year. He's not positive I'm actually qualified for earning, I'm not qualified, eligible to get it. If I do, it would definitely be prorated, which is still going to be a nice number. I'll take roughly 2/12 of whatever this bonus was. That'd be fine. But he says, I just don't want to get your hopes up, because he was looking through everybody else's forms and nowhere does it say effective dates or anything, because mine, the raise had an effective date. He says, this is locked in. You're good to go. Hey, Craig, welcome in. I'm choking on coffee. So he says, yeah, there's an effective date. The raise that I didn't expect you to get this soon, that's locked. You're getting it. The bonus, I'm pretty sure you're not, but it doesn't say either way because on the form that they give me as the manager doesn't tell them. So he doesn't know for sure. So he says, there's a chance, but don't expect it. So there you go. What the heck is a raise? That's what I've been asking for the last 9 years. In 9 years at my prior company, I got 3 raises. 2 of them came in the first 4 years. I got 1 in the last 5. And that was 3 years ago. So I've been... Oh my God, Master Jedi is just handing out gifts. Old Bacon Face, congratulations! You have been selected! Da-da. I'm gonna give you some fireworks. Still gotta find new fireworks. I'm getting there. I got thoughts, I got ideas, I got plans. So if I keep... Well... See, that's the bad problem I had, is that I changed my job. And luckily, I got that job change done right before the tech center just went to crap here in the Pacific Northwest. I snuck in. I had to take a pay cut to do it. I talked with a couple of other people that I worked with at the prior company. Every single one of them also had to take pay cuts to get jobs. And now everyone around here is laying off. Our top clients Yeah, used to work at a consulting firm. Our top clients all canceled their contracts with us, which is kind of why the company decided we're going out of business. We're not even going to try anymore. They all canceled all of those contracts with us, and then they've been laying off. Nike was one of the big ones, and they just laid off huge here. So when I was talking to the recruiters of this new company, we went over the fact that this represented a lower pay, and it's the one and only company I've ever negotiated with that says, nope, sorry, we don't negotiate. We've got a kind of payroll transparency, not like government where everything is like published on the internet, but we're telling you when you hire in, this is the dollar amount we're paying you. Not a penny more, not a penny less. You're starting here. First, last, final offer. Take it or leave it. Master Jedi and I, we pondered over it a little bit. We decided to take it. It was the correct call. But in part of the conversation around that, we kind of laid out that there would be bonuses coming. There is a guaranteed annual bonus that's actually a pretty reasonable percentage. I had a job once upon a time that had something very similar, so I'm kind of used to it. So if I include that with my paycheck, and then there was the chance at this discretionary bonus, I figured we calculated out about 18 months. I'll probably be back to where I was as of last summer. And with this raise coming in earlier than expected, at 18 months, when I get my next raise on top of this one, I might actually finally be a little bit ahead for a change. Yes, some of the contracts that I had were with companies that produced games. I don't really want to call them gaming companies because they kind of weren't, but they produced games. Game companies are the ones that probably hit the worst because there was that huge flood of money pouring in for games because everyone was quarantined and sitting around at home. What do you need to do? Oh, I need to play more computer games. So all those companies hired huge. My contracting firm actually lost a couple of people to gaming companies up and around the Seattle area. And of all of those we lost up there, I know one who has not been laid off in the last 12 months. But yeah, the game industry has taken a particularly hard hit. But everything tech around here seems to have gone on a slide right now. So I'm happy with where I am. Actually, I'm a little more than happy with where I am, which is a nice change of pace for stuff. So I've got that all covered. 18 months equals Jedi making bank. That one maybe not, but I don't know. Relative to the national average, yeah, I'm doing well. So I'm going to be happy with that. So that covers me on the job front. On the game front, this is where it got really exciting. As it stands right now, I should be finishing off. Hey, Miss Silvermoon, welcome back. Another resub. This is like a trio of 19 months. I guess I've been doing this for 19 months now.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Superstar.
Oh,
Where did you go?
Another quick shout out.
I have no idea. I'm just driving around.
There.
There you go. Oh, this is what we're going to be doing in a little bit here. I'm trying to get to it. I just got so much stuff to
Bro,
get out.
she
So, Miss
put my dad
Silvermoon,
on me,
you
bro.
may
I
have
don't
just
know
missed
where
the part.
she went.
I'm actually getting a raise earlier than expected at the new job, so I'm very happy with that. And there's a small chance of a prorated discretionary bonus that I'm kind of jazzed about because it's a decent chunk of money. The full bonus is a big chunk of money. But that all done, the exciting part related to Expeditions. On the Switch, it still shows as releasing on Friday, but I noticed today that the developers have updated the release schedule, so it is now supposed to release February 29th at 6 p.m. Central European Time, which is 9 a.m. tomorrow morning for me. So I'm now in a quandary about, I'm going to be sick Friday. It's been brewing for a while. I just know that it's going to hit Friday. Now I got to decide what to do about Thursday because I've got meetings from 6:30 in the morning until at least 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm kind of obligated for those. My no meeting Friday is still, as of right now, a no meeting Friday, which is fun because last Friday was not. I had 3 meetings on my no meeting Friday, but 100% the plan is still on. I am streaming Expeditions on Friday. But now there's a chance I might get it started early tomorrow afternoon. I'm not positive about that. And if the Switch version releases early, I'll do that. But if the Steam version actually does release tomorrow morning for me, I'm going to start streaming the Steam version right off the bat. It would be nice if they did the cross-platform saves, but they completely screwed that up in SnowRunner, so I have zero faith in that. You think you get it at 5 p.m.? Yes, because you are an hour ahead. What they call that, ahead or behind? It's an hour earlier UK time than CET. So yes, you should be getting it tomorrow evening on Steam. And yeah, I did double check. I double checked the Switch about 2 hours ago, and it still shows approximately March 1st. That's fine. I'll still take that either way. It'll be good actually to play it on both platforms. I'm going to anyway. I'm just a tiny bit bummed that they finally released the Mac port for SnowRunner, but there isn't an initial Mac port for Expeditions. I want to just play it on all three platforms because I can. Possibly a Thursday start. Yep, well, that's what I'm looking at for tomorrow. You know, depending on your timing, I might start right as you're done then tomorrow. Because like I said, I've got meetings until 1:30, which unfortunately for me, that's Plinko time. So if you're plinking on Thursday, I may end up missing Plinko again. I mean, I got the Potato King, but apparently I'm slacking on the whole Plinko King thing. Stupid job, but they're paying my money, so that's good. I do hope that you get to actually stream it though, because you've had a day, Miss Moon. Let me get caught back up on everything else here. I think I'm good. Oh, and Master Jedi is off on her lurk. She's still working until at least 5, so she's got another hour going. Yep, Plinko King's having it rough, but Plinko King got a raise and maybe a bonus today, so at least someone's paying for my Plinko tardiness. And it's not going to have to be me. Yeah. Olaf has it covered. Olaf's the man. So that covers those. Here comes another hydrate. As long as... See, now Coffee Monkey isn't electric. So Coffee Monkey does a medium poor job of keeping coffee hot till the end of the stream. So I guess if I'm going to burn off these hydrates, I got to do it early. And then if Tay shows up, then Tay, Nico, and KDP get into a hydrate fight, and they see how fast they can make me finish off this mug. Because they're horrible people, but Master Jedi loves it because she thinks I need to drink more. Okay, so we're caught up on that front. Oh, the one more piece of news before I finally switch over to the game and we start playing. We need a moment of silence for the poor Fem AT37. Oh, God, they did it at the same time. Okay. Officially, I've got a backup. I went to Walgreens and discovered that Mama Jedi bought this for me as a Christmas present once upon a time. And it comes with this big old stack with marshmallows and hot cocoa and stuff on top of it in the box. So I found one of those at Walgreens. So I have a backup Coffee Monkey just in case he should ever lose that other ear. But this one came from Mama Jedi, so we're keeping it as long as it still works here. There we go. Oh, okay, that's Nico's, and then KDP's. Here's one. 2 sips per hydrate, that's the rule. So yes, a moment of silence for the poor old Fem. I was talking with someone on Saturday that apparently they finally got the patch working in the Season 12 update that deals with all of the really bad Xbox instability in this game. I think it started... one of the update patches right after Season 7 came out. So it's been over a year where the Xbox, for some people, it's been literally unplayable. It will crash 5-10 minutes into the game. So we were talking about that. Supposedly the patch actually has it stable on Xbox for a change. So they're supposed to be turning their attention to getting the cross-platform multiplayer finally stabilized so that, among other things, Xbox can actually join someone else's game without kicking everybody out and then crashing. And so I was bragging that, hey, I've been playing on the Switch. I've got over 950 hours on the Switch. I actually crossed 1,000 hours total in the game across all platforms on Sunday. Yeah. Oh, wait. There it is. And I haven't had one single crash in 950 hours across 2 years. 5 minutes after that conversation, boom, game crashes desktop. As I'm trying to recover the Fem from Oviro Hills, which does not have a garage, to, I think, Flatlands next door, because that's the nearest garage, so that's where it's going to recover to. The moment it flipped to the loading screen for Flatlands, boom, it crashed. And I think the way the code works is when you start the recovery, and it realizes you need to move to another map. No, this one we need this for. And you start to move to another map. It deletes the truck off of that map. And then when it loads the next map, it writes it into the garage. Except when it crashes in between those two states and it doesn't have a rollback for that transaction. So I fired the game back up. I did a continue game. It started to load me back into Oviro Hills. So I thought, well, okay. What it must do is it saves the game, and then it tries to do the magic that it does, and then as soon as you're loaded up into the next map, it probably saves it again then, and then every 10 minutes it does it. Nope, turns out it doesn't. It tried to load me into Oviro Hills. It's on the Switch, so it takes forever to finally get that loaded up. And then as soon as it was loaded, normally you'd see the screen come up with your truck. Boom! It cuts over and it starts loading over into Flatlands. And I thought, well, that's weird. No thumbs up for this one. I thought, well, okay, it was probably a little confused because of the crash, so I'll just wait. It loads me up into Flatlands. I'm in the garage. The garage is empty. I go out to the map and I look around. I don't have any trucks on that map. I go to Oviro Hills. No trucks for that map. It deleted my FEM, and then that's where the story ended for it. It's just gone. And it's a Russian truck as far as the purchasing system goes. So I can't go to the truck store in North Carolina and buy a replacement. I'd have to load into Amour or someplace, buy it there, and then retain it and bring it back in. I'm not going to bother. That truck kind of drives me crazy anyway. But as a super ultra completionist who was playing this game to get every single possible dollar squeezed, this is me milking the game for every possible dollar, I just lost like $100,000 because someone stole my truck. Realistically, my expectation is that I probably would have kept the truck in my fleet, but probably never driven it again, but never sold it off. So it's an unrealized loss. So that's how I'm consoling myself. But it was such a bummer because I'm down to the last 3 contracts now. They're all taking place in Pineline Valley, Pineline Bay, Pineline, whatever the hell it is. And a bunch of them involve needing to cart 3 metal beams at a time. And I thought the FEM is perfect. I can load one, I can pack one in, load one crossways, just balanced, and then set the other on top of it with the crane attached, because you can only do 3-slot bed plus the crane. And then I can drive it around. It's got the giant tires, so I can just slog through the mud. Oh, well, it's going to be the perfect plan. So that got shot. So instead, what I'm using now is the Paystar. It mounts a 3-slot bed with a crane as well. So I've got it matched up that way. It does not do near as well in the mud, however. The final flip. Kind of, yeah, it was. So I've got the Paystar loaded up. I did the Power Grid mission, which involved a whole bunch of driving a bunch of stuff around. That mission took me 3 or 4 hours by itself. So I did that one a couple of nights ago. Is that Monday night? Yeah, I did that one Monday night off stream. So I got everything set up where it needs to be. I tested out the drive with the Paystar. It worked fine. So now I've got power lines 1, 2, and 3 of the 3 missions remaining. One of them takes 2 beams. One of them takes 1 beam. So there's my trio. I'm just going to drive them all together. And then 2 of them, which overlap one of the beam requirements, there's the giant coiled tube trailer that you had to drive in for Power Grid. And as soon as I got it into the delivery spot, it automatically disengaged the trailer, popped it off, and I thought, I'm going to go recover my truck. Wait a minute, why didn't it delete the trailer? What's going on here? I looked. It turns out you need to take that same trailer and you need to drive its ass all over the map to get to these other 2 out of the 3 remaining missions. So Friday night, I spent about another 15 minutes trying to figure out how to get that giant trailer turned around at the electrical station because there's stuff everywhere. So I did that off stream. I have it queued up. I got the Party Zix hooked up to it, although it's in the official Jedi Hunter Green instead of the party colors. My apologies there. And then I got the Paystar. It's all queued up to do its beam deliveries. Normally I'd have the Paystar with the extended fuel tank sitting in the middle to work as a fuel mule for everybody. I've got my Cat 681, my rescue vehicle. It's doing fuel duties in the center. And then I have my dear old Scout 800. It's sitting out to be the supervisor because that's the vehicle I start every map with, and it's the vehicle I end every map with, because I have OCD rules about things, apparently, like trying to maximize every penny. I've never once taken one of the ferries because you have to pay $750, and apparently I'm too much of a tightwad, which is why when I flip over, finally, after 26 minutes, oh, and I'm playing in normal mode, so I have to pause it so I don't burn daylight. I'm going to drive big horseshoe around the map to go deliver this first trailer. I mean, if you're brave, you could do a fem body with ramped flatbed and do the 3 beams with 2 other slots of cargo. That's true. I have done some of those crazy... I did those crazy loads in Amur because I was brash and overconfident and spent a lot of time picking crap up off the ground after flipping things. After I had the Zix 605. Prior to that, I just spent a lot of time crying. But here we go. We have this monster trailer with the monster truck to pull it. Honestly, I don't remember if the light over there is sun up or sundown. I guess I could tell you real quick. Hang on here. Please hold. It is, it's 6:49 in the afternoon. Time's a-wasting. So yeah, I've got those 4 out, and then I've got the two trailers I can't do anything about. I've already cleaned up all of my extra vehicles and trailers and everything off of the other maps. Beacons on. Power Lines 1, which is the only contract available. Power Lines 1, 2, and 3 are all sequential. So let's get off and rolling with this. I think this truck can actually do the swamp travel. I brought the trailer in, taking kind of the slightly shorter route from the gateway. Okay, there we go, we broke that log. From the gateway around the north, it's not the north, I guess it's actually the east side of the lake, and then down here. This one, I am just going to burn straight north up along the base of the mountain. The beams, I actually found it easier to drive them up and over the mountain because the Paystar does not like the mud. Even with the Jat tires, it does not like the mud. I gotta monitor sound levels because this is about the loudest truck in the game. Just want to be sure I stay a little louder than it. If the truck overpowers me, let me know, and I can turn the volume down on it a little bit. Let me make sure I'm going the right way. Yep, I don't think I really have to turn until up there. Oop, headlights. Forgot those. Yeah, rip the Fem. I think the Fem was still just a little buggy. Kind of like the Max initial release where the hitbox on the differential sat a little low, so it was always getting hung up on stuff. I had the same problem with the Kenny, right, in that same release too. And it was another one of those that seemed radically underpowered at the slightest incline, even without obstacles. Just an incline seems to really bog down the power curve on it, more so than I would kind of expect to. And the one that killed me trying to drive the Fem around is when you would have it, you'd have the articulation pointed all the way off to the left, and then you would run into something, and it would instantly do a full hard right turn, and it would also push everything straight ahead, and the physics on the whole thing was just slightly wonky. Okay, there's a tree down there. And there were certain degrees of, hey, you hooked a tire on something generally immovable, it's going to make your steering go bad. This is the physics that should represent that, but it didn't quite do it right, and it bugged me. So like I said, I probably wasn't going to ever drive the Fem again anyway, but I'm just angry that it was stolen from me. Those damn kids, always out stealing really expensive hardware. Okay, I guess this is all I got here. The other benefit to using this truck here is that, especially with all of the extra add-ons on the roof, it holds a metric crap ton of fuel. So I really don't have to worry about running out. Paystar did okay. I was really enjoying the Voron early on this map, but oh my god, the tank is so small and she is so thirsty. I was finding that anytime I take the Voron, I also had to have a fuel truck follow it around in order to keep it mobile. Which truck has the safest safety beacons? That is a really good question. So the T813 is the truck I found is good for special treasures and heavy... Oh, that one's the Tatra? Is that right? The number sounds familiar, but I haven't used it a whole lot. Is there an 815 also? I want to say that's the one I'd used somewhat. And it was also... I think it was the loudest truck in the game, as far as I had noticed, until I got the Mastodon here. But the safest safety beacons... Well, this bad boy right here, this mounts 4 on top. So, you know, that's pretty good. The Derry Special, you can mount it up with a whole bunch of safety beacons, and if you give it the fireman livery, then it has special glowy blue ones around the edge too. So that might technically make it the safest one, but I don't know. It depends on whether the red and blue is better than the quad orange. There's a lot of philosophy in there. Okay, yes, it is the Tatra. And the whole 815 thing, I probably just made that up because numbers is just sometimes hard. And I try to always promise there will be no math on stream. So just throwing out numbers is usually good enough. But yes, I did use that one a fair bit early on as well. I use that a lot in Yukon, as a matter of fact. I liked Yukon. I still think I'm voting for Maine as my favorite overall region. Amur not far behind. The challenge level on Amur was amazing, especially at that point in my SnowRunner progression. I still think it would be relatively hard if I was to go back and do it again now, which I'm kind of tempted to do sometimes. Up. It's down short. You know, I could just travel right through the water there, but I'm going to up the ante a little bit, and I'm going to see if I can keep the trailer level driving up the rocks. No, so far I'm having trouble getting the thing to go straight. But at least this one's a little more believable when it decides not to drive straight than the Fender was. There we go. Easy peasy. I did put the Jack of all trades tires on this one. I believe I have pontificated before that the mud ones, I don't think they generally do much better in mud. A little bit maybe. The biggest benefit that I got from the Jack of all trades pack is slapping them on my Scout 800 with all that extra fuel loaded on top. Those Jet tires actually made it a little bit stable, so I could drive the stupid thing around without flipping over on my back like a golden retriever every 30 seconds, looking for belly rubs. So I actually got a lot more usage out of the Scout 800 in this map than I have over even the last few, which really haven't been hard to drive on. But you get just a little bit of a bouncy road, and that thing loses its mind. But you can see that the tires actually sit out wide of the fenders a little bit more than they used to, and it makes a ton of difference. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're hooked up on that tree. Okay, let me take off the glasses so I make sure I'm grabbing the right... Oh no, I did everything wrong anyway. Make sure that I grab the right dot. Nope, can't do it from that side. Let's do it from this side. Yeah, there we go. Let go of that tree. Just let go of it. It's holding on by the rear mud flaps back here. I'm sorry, the one rear mud flap. I'm going to pan a little farther out. There we go. We're gonna do this the exciting way. So I'm gonna downshift. I'm gonna go nice and low. Yeah, there we go. Definitely not gonna back up just for that. Screw you, tree. I've been very happy with the design on Season 12 here. I think they put a little more effort into this one than they have over Seasons 9, 10, and 11. 9, 10, and 11 had some fun aspects to them. In other places, they were a little bland. I liked Scandinavia. They changed a bunch of things, at least thematically. Would have been nice to have more new mechanics in the game. This one made up for not really adding much in the way of new mechanics, for just looking better, having a really nice overall theme. I got the nuclear plant built. I got the cooling towers all finished off, and then on Monday I got the electrical station up and running. So story-wise, we're now running around to 3 of the major electrical towers, so that we can get the power lines back up from the electrical station to the various sections of town and towns around. That will complete our duties here in North Carolina. Probably going to get hung up on this tree too, so I'm going to stand by for more winching if need be. So I can come back here. Nope, it hopped over. Okay, go back to reading mode here. I think you get rid of crafting and replace it with something people actually want. Oh, I am of two minds about the whole crafting thing. I didn't think it was bad in this season. I'm okay with the ones that just want you to bring a generator over and pay fuel. And I thought with this season there were, 2 or 3 stations that did that, and then there were 1 or 2 that would build the same things, but if you didn't want to bring a generator, then you could bring extra materials around instead. I did the vast majority of mine just using the one where you pay fuel, call it a day. So, where was that? Was that British Columbia? The one where you needed to make one slot's worth of consumables, but you had to bring it 9 slots worth of other materials from 2 different other maps, including a 4-slot long plank. It was like long plank and a whole bunch of different metals in order to make spam. That one was a little ridiculous. That one I did not care for, but yeah, this one where you need to build a couple of things, and even then, I didn't have to craft all that much. It ended up mainly being the metal beams and the metal rolls. And I think I had to build 1 cabin. Accidentally ended up building 2. That was a little of the OCD kicking in. For the record, it's not real OCD. I'm just calling it that because it's really more anal compulsive behavior, I think. But part of my self-imposed rules is when you open up a warehouse that has a limited number of a particular item, as opposed to the olden days where you would open up a warehouse and then you could have as many of whatever it serviced as it liked. So you open up a warehouse, but it's only got 4 cement blocks in it. But there's a cement factory that will make all that you want. You either have to feed it sand or gas or whatever. I try to use all of the stuff that is in limited supply first, even when that means I've got to make stupid long drives to do it, just because of dumb, irrational reasons. And I screwed that up this time. I messed up. I accidentally went to the lumber mill after opening it up, and I took 2 of its regular planks when I still had 3 regular planks out and about in the world, and I only had the use for 2 more planks after that. I thought, what am I going to do with this extra plank? I can't have 1 extra plank lying around. especially because it was part of one of the houses that you can strip down by stealing all their materials, and there's the fun little animation that goes with taking the last one. So that, you know what, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to go build an extra cabin. If I'm going to have one extra piece of something lying around, I'd rather it be a cabin than that. So I then went and I crafted metal rolls, and I crafted one too many metal rolls, so it was crazy. Dinner rolls are greater than metal rolls most of the time. You are correct, Nico. And jelly rolls are definitely better than dinner rolls. That is the winning suggestion right there, Poncho. Oh, I forgot to upshift this whole time. Damn it. That's okay. I've been talking. Driving slow has probably been beneficial anyway. And hey, look at that. We made it through the swamp. We'll give a couple bonus horns there. I do like that they added the neon stuff. I think they started that in Maine, as a matter of fact. I loved Maine. If I was to go back and play any season over again starting tomorrow, it would probably be Maine, just because I liked it so much. And there's my Scout 800 just waiting, keeping an eye on everything. Honestly, I probably don't need this, but mainly out of habit more than anything else. I did use quite a bit of fuel there. I'm going to go ahead and top back up. I think this truck, fully kitted out, carries 740 liters, so it'll go a while. That's right, Poncho, you won. Welcome in, by the way. It's always fun to see you. I have played a little more of Final Fantasy 1, by the way. I'm glad I went ahead and gave it another shot. I'm glad that they put the 6-pack on sale, so I could get going on those again. I just remember hating them so much at the time because there was so much grind. And I think the tipping point for me was Final Fantasy. That was the one that just, more than any other game I played at the time, liked to hit you with the invisible random encounter a lot, which contributed to all of the extra grinding that just drove me crazy. I've played a lot more games with a lot more similar mechanics since that. And I'm a lot older now, so it's actually not as bad. I think we talked about this a little bit before. I probably won't play Final Fantasy 1 all the way to completion. There is a guy on YouTube I've started following lately. He does kind of technical playthroughs where he will do analysis on some of these old games as he does playthroughs all the way through. And he just did Final Fantasy 1 like within the last month. I think that's part of what contributed to me kind of checking it out again. And so he went through what all is involved, and there's so much grinding. All of this bitching and griping I've done about Final Fantasy 1, I loved Ultima 1 to 3. They were just as bad. But they didn't have the invisible random encounters, and I think that was the big difference for me. But yeah, they had some amazing amounts of grinding you had to do to get through those. I don't think I'll subject myself to all of that. Just turn on X4... Can you do that? Do they have a menu setting in the Switch version that does that? Oh, if I can do that on the Switch version, I totally would. I would like to play through the whole... Basically, I know what the story is because I watched this playthrough, but yeah. If I can cut out the grind, I would be more than happy to actually play that one to the end. And like I said, I got the 6-pack, so I do plan on kind of working my way through those. Sea of Saturdays, though, that's still Legend of Grimrock for the time being. But I have been playing some of the other... All the Pixel remasters do. Oh, that is good to know. I got a couple boxes. I got to tick to make sure everybody's happy. Don't crash into a guardrail.
For rock and stone!
For rock and stone! The Sea of Stars physical copy. I've got my pre-order down. It's shipping in May, I think. No word on when the actual DLC for that game is coming out, but as I've also said before, I would not count on that before sometime 2025. Oh, I gotta hydrate. I gotta let off the gas. Oh, let's see. I think I can... I'm gonna drive and gas with the left hand. This should be safe. I hate barricades. I think you got 3 there, Nico. Switch 2 rumors, as long as I'm busy yammering away about things I don't really know about but pretend to. Yeah, I knew KDPs would be along. Switch 2 is looking more and more solid on the rumor mill for a March 25 release. It's a little bit of a bummer, but there are a lot of third-party game companies that are starting to align themselves around that March date, so that's starting to sound pretty good. Nico will believe it when he sees it, but I am perfectly willing to 100% accept and believe everyone who said it so far, because honestly, that doesn't matter. Favorite fast food is Taco Bell. Oh, okay, I get it, because Nico's asking questions with the abbreviations. Ripe for exploitation. Taco Bell is the middle of the Final Fantasy pack. I would buy that too, because like I said, I accept anything anyone says. I don't care. That's fair, old bacon face. Deny it. Deny, deny, deny. There is a shorter route you can take over there, but it involves either going between two trees, which I don't think this trailer is going to be excited about, and honestly, this truck's wide enough, it may not want to go between those. Or you have to scrabble along that little bitty rock face, which the truck would have no problem with, but I don't trust this trailer. This trailer is made of coils and tubes, just like the internet, and I wouldn't trust the internet. Therefore, I don't trust this trailer. So we're just going to go around the long way. The Party Zix here, it doesn't mind too much driving through the extra mall. You have doubts because Pokemon Legends Z-A releases in 2025 on Switch, I guess for now. Someone that I was watching on YouTube was pointing out that they thought that the nomenclature around the release wording was different than normal, that it's just something along the lines of Nintendo Switch systems instead of for the Nintendo Switch, and that they took that to mean that it was going to be a cross-gen release, which, regardless of the explanation as to why he thinks that, I think that's probably reasonable. But then someone else pointed out that some other Pokemon game from earlier in the year, I don't know if it was the Legends Arceus or Violet and Scarlet or some other game, also used that same terminology a while ago. Obviously, it was a Switch 1 release. So. But I don't think that they're going to have a problem, really, with the backwards compatibility. I think that has made the feature list. So it will be real easy for them to say, hey, all of you, 140 million Switch owners, all your crap's still going to work. Yay, congratulations, everyone. Thumbs up. Let's do it. There it is. And for everybody getting a Switch 2, hey, it's also going to work there. And I would not be surprised if some of the Switch 2 will actually do some kind of auto upgrading on a few things. You know, toss in some anti-aliasing, a little upscaling here and there. I don't think cross-gen games will really be a problem for anyone, especially Nintendo first party. I'm debating whether Game Freak, Pokemon Company really counts as Nintendo first party. They really should. But after the performance debacle of Violet and Scarlet, I can see how a lot of people really kind of don't think of them that way. But yeah, making your game to run on both really shouldn't be terribly difficult, especially if you're building it on some other framework like a Unity or an Unreal or something that already have packs out that basically do the majority of the porting between the two for you anyway. And I would not be surprised, speaking from a professional software development perspective, if they actually designed their game bundling system so that you could put resources in a single bundle that would work on both. You just have to deal with... Do we fit? Yeah, it fits through there. You just have to deal with any scenarios where I think the cart is rumored to have a much larger storage capacity for Switch 2 than it does for Switch 1. So you either need to make a slightly smaller game so it'll fit on a on a cart that will still be read by a Switch 1. Or you need to do a little fancy engineering so that all of the Switch 1 related stuff appears in some sector. There's some technical stuff that they could probably work out if they are of a mind to. They've had enough delays, and they've been working on it long enough now. I'm sure that they'll have figured out something that they will figure out. And what they will figure out will be whatever it is that makes the Nintendo company the most money. I'm sorry, whatever makes the Nintendo company's investors the most money. And I fully support the notion that backwards compatibility plays heavily into that. Because Xbox benefited hugely from having their backwards compatibility. Even though it wasn't entirely complete, it was still pretty significant. In fact, I even had forwards compatibility with the stuff that I've got. I still have my Xbox One. I haven't played it in a long time, but you can get a game that says Xbox Series X and S on it, and it'll play on the one. Maybe not great, but it'll play. New word on whether Switch 2 will be in color and 3D. I've heard very strong rumors that it will be in color. I've also heard very strong rumors that the actual Switch device will occupy 3 dimensions, but that the screen itself will probably only support 2, but it can simulate all 3 dimensions. Just not terribly convincing. Hey, I think I got a turn right here. Okay, everybody hang on, I'm going to use my blinker. Oh, wait, crap. American Truck Simulator, I can use my blinker, but not this game. Oh, no. This is going to be the same problem I had at the electrical station. It's going to make me take this same trailer out of here, and we're not overrun with places to turn around. It's okay. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it when we deal with it. Into the yellow box. Boom! And then it auto disconnects the trailer. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of that, a little bit of this. We could ditch the generator now that we've got a stable power supply, which means we won't be needing fuel deliveries either. Well, I wasn't delivering fuel to you anyway. But you were hoarding one of those generators from me. Oops. Actually, it's too close. It's not too far away. I'm not a big fan of the fact that it auto-disconnects it for you. Oh, I love those lights off to the side. This is really a good truck. I don't mind that I paid an extra $2.99 to get this truck. It was totally worth the pay to win for it. Okay, well, that's 1 down, 2 to go. Power lines 2. Next up, there's an electric transmission line we need to finish. As you can see, they're all spick and span here, so be careful when you deliver the metal beams, okay? So we need 2. Now this is the slightly downside. It's actually kind of in the far end of the swamp from where we'll be coming. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up all 3 beams. This contract only needs 2. Oh, hang on, let me turn the fireworks back off. That's enough fireworks for now. But you will note, power lines 3, when we get there, you have to do power lines 2 first. Just right there in front of the garage, it wants that 3rd metal beam, and it wants that stupid trailer back too. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to load up all 3. I'm going to drive over here, and I am going to let the Scout keep its eyes on beam number 3. And then I am going to hustle the Paystar. I'm climbing the hill. I'm driving along the mountain where there is no muddy swamp. I'm just going to drive all the way around this way, and then I'm going to come into the swamp from the backside here, so that I can hit power line 2, because all it needs is the beams, and we're done. It would be super embarrassing if I had to drive that stupid trailer all the way back over here. And you will notice, I started the trailer right here. If I wasn't such a tightwad, I could have just driven into town, hopped on the ferry right over here, and then it's like a 6-block drive to drop it off. But I'm a tightwad, screw it. I saved me $750. And I'm going to credit that $750 toward buying a replacement FEM someday. That one, okay, those are the 2 trailers. It lied. I don't have access to that generator again. That's okay, that way I don't have to go sell it. No, I don't need the caterpillar. I need the Paystar. Hey there, gorgeous. Just to be safe, I didn't preload this one with those beams. Since they sit on that truck unpacked, I've always been paranoid that saving the game and loading it later, kind of like crashing when resuming or when recovering between maps, it might accidentally do something with these beams. And these beams I actually use the crafting station for, because this is a lot closer than going all the way to the far end of Flatlands to pick them up for free. So let's see, cargo management. I've got, coincidentally... This is what they meant. They don't need the generator up here anymore. Oh, those bastards. Well, okay. I didn't actually... Oh, man. Oh! So I wasted all that extra work. Well, on the plus side, I don't have that one extra metal roll sitting around annoying me anymore, because now that they're infinite up here. Well, son of a biscuit maker. That's fine. Whatever. No, go back to this one. I need a metal beam. Nope, nope. I'm doing it all wrong. All wrong. There we go. Loading platform. So there's the 2. Now is when we have to do a little bit of creative management. Because I want the beams that I'm going to set crossways to sit up just right behind the death guard there, which means I have to slide this back, because whenever you pack, it packs it as far forward as it can get it, because in the real world that makes sense most of the time. What I've also found is every once in a while, if you accidentally let this crane go off screen because you pivot around the wrong way, it will sneak that packed load forward, and then it will pinch the crane, and then physics glitches start kicking in, and you end up with your truck in orbit, which, while entertaining and fun, often means you have to recover in order to repair the truck and start all over again, and I don't want to do that right now. Okay, so here's where we have to be careful. First, I gotta pack. Nope. Well, nope. Everything I did was wrong. The good news is all of these metal beams were free, so I didn't just throw away one that I actually had to pay for. This time, I'm going to pack it first. There you go. Oh, I need to get that out of the loading zone. Let's try this again. So far, the packed beam hasn't tried sneaking back into position. That's good. Oop, up a little higher, please. And spin, and spin, and spin. Keep it going. I think it spins a little faster if you give it a little oomph, a little zhuzh there. Oops. I want you to set down in there nice and even. I gotta pan the camera down, but the actual dock crane is in the way. Get down in there. I can't... It's not letting me shorten it. Oh, I remember what I had to do last time. I had to actually get it to go... There we go. Nope. I want it a little closer to center. Right there. Do I have enough room to get this third one out? Ah! That is the sound of frustration. Nope. I need a double quit. There we go. Okay. Now all the things that we need are out on the board. We just need to try to not suck quite as much this time. Let me come around here. Is this a decent view? This might work. lower that. Back in. There we go. Okay, set that one right there. Let's come and pick you up next. Oh, that's enough to make the truck lean just a wee bit. Right there. That's looking good. Boom! We're set. Beacons on for safety. Headlights on for additional safety. That's a good horn. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, persons of all persuasions, we're rolling. I'm gonna go drop one of these off with the scout. And then just casually hop the other two on over the top of the mountain to the delivery point. And then to save ourselves just a tiny bit of time, I can just recover this truck back to the garage and then drive it out the front door, and boom, it'll be there with the third beam. It'll be ready to go. Oh, as a matter of fact, it can do its delivery first, and then we can finish stuff off. I meant to turn a little bit sooner than this. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna get our socks wet. Hang on. Yeah, I can do these 3 beam deliveries in a row, and then we can finish off North Carolina with a giant trailer drag, because that's what this game's really kind of all about. Ooh, let me get my readers on here. Definitely safety loaded. Well, obviously, I mean, you can't see it at the scale because, you know, it's a Switch, so the resolution's a little low on it, but I have a little red flag taped to either end of that set of cross beams right there. So, you know, it's safe. And I'm not hanging over the tailgate, so we're legal. Especially in North Carolina. I'm sure at this point I've mentioned I've never been to North Carolina. I shouldn't make fun of North Carolina. I technically was kind of a little bit. I still have a sister who had lived there very briefly. But briefly enough that I don't know that anyone in the family ever actually went out there to see her before she stopped living there. We all got her a congratulations on not living in North Carolina anymore card. That was good. It is arguably a real place. Ooh, oh, do you want story time? Have I ever told you about North Dakota? Ooh, hang on, I got a couple green boxes. Ooh, I'm getting good at clicking those green boxes real quick. Well, I went to high school in 2 states because my family moved in the middle of my sophomore year. And that's when we moved to Colorado. The little high school that I went to in Colorado, there was a social studies teacher there who had one of those really fancy pull-down maps of the United States, but it was the fancy kind because it had the clear films, you know, additional roller doohickey things that you could pull down over the top that, you know, put things like the state lines and other, you know, geopolitical boundary stuff down so you could pick the one that you wanted for teaching class. So it was just a raw map, and then it had the clear overlay that you could pull down with the borders and the state names. And somewhere during his tenure as a teacher at this school, the entry for North Dakota had been scratched off of the plastic piece that came down. So there were only 49 states labeled on his map. So I have spent the rest of my life doubting the existence of North Dakota. And it usually comes down to, I don't know that I believe in North Dakota. Have you ever been there? Nope, me neither. So why should I trust it? I think it's probably fair to say the same thing of North Carolina. You've heard of it, but not from me. Well, you're definitely not going to hear about it from me. Because much like birds, I don't think it's real. speaking of not real birds, give it a couple of horn honks. Oh, did we not? Oh, wow. That's one of the first times I've noticed it not scaring up birds. They must be the tough birds that live over here that don't care about horns. Upper South Dakota. Central North South Dakota. This guy, I'm going to go ahead and take all of the danger shortcuts, because that's how I roll. I'm already planning how I recover from taking a danger shortcut and flipping. The answer might be go ahead and grab the Party Six with the giant trailer and just start scooting it this way. It would definitely be able to winch me back upright, and then this truck has got the crane for reloading. That'll only take forever to have to do. With the 3 pieces of crazy cargo. Slow climb up the hill. Bouncy bounce. Yeah, okay, we're going. That's honestly enough states. Has anyone ever actually counted how many states are on the flag? Probably not. I assume it's just AI generated. You ask it for a flag and it says, I don't know, how about something like this? And it's got random numbers of stars that each have random number of points on them. Usually 6. Nice slow background music to go with this truck, carrying arguably a lot of metal. Downshift to get the nice even power curve when I step on the gas. Cut out a little of the herky-jerky. These are the 2 trees that if you decide to not drive the little mini shelf road here, you got to squeeze between those 2. I'm pretty sure nothing about the Party 6 and its trailer were actually going to fit through there. My flag only has 3 stars. Name that tune. God, that is so old. Even I think of Name That Tune as old. I'm trying to think, why would I ever have watched Name That Tune? I think it's when a grandparent would come over to babysit us. I think that's when Name That Tune would actually become invoked. Because we were a solid gold family, baby. The best I've ever seen. It was super groovy. I could really dance to it. I give it 3 out of 10. It was the original perfect score, 5 out of 7. Oh, we're going to need to downshift. Downshifting paid off. Actually, what I meant to be doing is using my high torque gear. That seems to have done pretty well through this medium depth water in this semi-swamp here. It does not do well enough in the full swamp over where we're headed, so that's why I'm going over the top of the mountain. But here it does really well. And this is one of those trucks that gets the really nice high torque whine in the engine when you get going. I love me a good whiny engine. Go. We'll come back out. We don't need all-wheel drive at this point. We got like 10 wheels going. Yeah, we don't need all of those cranking. We'll give some of them a break. Top up on fuel as we come by the garage. This truck is a little exciting going over the top of the mountain because there are 2 turns that are a little too tight for its long wheelbase to make. So we got to do some exciting 3-point turns. How do I know one of them in particular is too tight? Because I got this bad boy up. It was at about a 70-degree lean. I don't know why it didn't shut the engine off on me. And the auto winch actually auto-winched something. It was still inappropriate, but it was just enough to keep it from tipping sideways. So the engine was still running. I was actually able to then slowly manually winch to something else to turn it back upright, and it saved the day. Otherwise, it was going to be a big mess to get some other truck up there on this little narrow mountain ridge in order to pull it upright and then screw around with reloading this trio of metal beams. So the second time I made that drive, I went into it with a 3-point turn plan. And then the other spot is a bridge where it was very clear up front that the front wheels were not going to be on the bridge if I kept turning. So that one wasn't as high a risk. No, actually, I'm gonna leave it in auto here first. I'm gonna pick up a little speed coming down this hill, and then you throw it into highball gear and turn on the all-wheel just before you hit the wet portion at the bottom, and then it actually makes a little bit better time. Otherwise, it really likes to downshift and flounder. Here we go. Go, go, Gadget. Had the FEM on its side, literally, and somehow still ran the engine. I've had that happen a couple of times with a couple of different trucks. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to it. I think sometimes one of my other pontifications on this game is that it definitely has a physics engine, and it models a lot of things, that it has some complexity, and it's very cool in the way it does it. But the physics that it models isn't exactly real-world physics. But at least it has most of a consistency across the board. But from time to time, you get a few exceptions to that. And I think the angle required to kill your engine is one of those that has a little bit of wiggle room built in. I think I've had some luck with the Burlak running sideways. And really the truck that I've spent the most time in has been the Tega. And that one I've gotten a number of times where I don't know why it's still running, but I'll accept it. I think there are a couple of ways that I can make this assault here. I think the easier, safer route is to 3-point it so I can go up to the right of that trio of rocks. You can go up on the left, but then you have to make kind of a hard right turn, and it makes you lean down the hill a little more than I'm comfortable with all this steel on board. Although at least it looks like it's kind of leaning off the left side of the truck. A little bit of ballast over there could have helped. I think going this way, the back wheels hook on this rock. But sometimes it pivots, sometimes I make a 3-point turn. Yeah, we're gonna 3-point this one. In fact, let's see if I can just let a little bit of gravity help out there. There we go. Just a little gravity is all you need. Tega is the Tega King. I know. I have found in the season since then that there are some other trucks that on certain circumstances I like to drive a little bit more. I was having really good luck with the Voron. It was doing much better in some of this mud early on in Season 12. And then I think I drove the Tega just enough that I kind of got a little better used to it again or something. But I always come back to the Tega. The Voron I finally had to kind of give up on because its fuel economy was trash. And I started getting into the big multi-map drives. And I was spending as much extra time driving a fuel truck around to keep it going than if I just used the Tega and then struggled a little bit in the mud. We're gonna do some downshifting here, but I do enjoy the Tega. It's probably one of the first SnowRunner videos I watched was a guy who demonstrated how it's possible to get that original Taymyrian Tega recovered within minutes of completing the original tutorial. As soon as you open up that first garage in Michigan, you can recover, you can retain and transfer it straight over to Taymyr. And then I think there were a couple of things you needed to do just to earn enough money to buy some very minor upgrade. And then it showed you where to go to get a free repair trailer. And then you just needed a little bit of driving skill to get into where the broken down Tega was. So as soon as you repaired it, you could recover it back to the shop and it was yours. And then you could go back to Michigan with it, and it, made the game dramatically easier to get started on at that point. Let's go to high gear here. We'll do better climbing this one. And I'd already gotten past the point where I was started in Michigan, so I never did it myself, but I always thought that was fascinating, that there's so many different ways that you could solve anything in SnowRunner. Some dude actually found a way to get a powerful truck way earlier than the expectation was. But nothing wrong with doing it. I'm going to downshift again. Oh my god, welcome in, Sirenscape. Let me pause before I go down this
you're
corner.
right. What the swarm, man? What the hell?
Ooh, nice save. Nice save. Hey, Bardic and Dan Servo, both resubbing together. It is a beautiful thing. And oh my god, a hype train. Hang on. I have a sound effect for that.
Club 1 trivia.
Man, Steve is a star.
Ooh, I got it down a little bit quiet because the truck horns are louder. But look at that, courtesy of Sirenscape, I've got train horns for my hype train. Welcome in, everybody. I think most of you know me by now. Anyone who doesn't, I'm Lone Jedi. I like to drive my trucks around on Wednesdays. Today is a good day to be in. Today, I'm finishing off North Carolina. It's one of your new clips, Rob. Congratulations. Choo-choo. Here we go. I am finishing off North Carolina. I've only got 2 contracts left. Hang on, I got to be careful here, because this truck cannot make that little chicane through these rocks without turning itself sideways. So I am playing the SnowRunner, for those not familiar with the game. It's the most frustrating and most zen game of my lifetime that I've ever played. You can get a nice, relaxing afternoon while pulling your hair out. It's actually a puzzle game. I will defend that statement. It's a puzzle game. Change my mind. And I'm finishing off the North Carolina Season 12 just in time for the spin-off game Expeditions to be released tomorrow morning, as it so happens, on Steam. Friday sometime on Switch. So this particular season, your goal was to run out and rebuild, or actually I guess build a nuclear reactor in North Carolina. You have to build the reactor building, you got to build a couple of cooling towers. I've done those. The final part of the regional project is to repair the electrical system. Usually they have some sort of story element as to why something is broken and you need to fix it. I don't know why at this particular time. They didn't cover that. But I know that the nuke facility is brand new. We did an amazing job. I encountered my first ever in 2 years crash bug here on the Switch just over the weekend. There was a lot of lamenting and crying about that earlier, but I'm past it now. All I have to do is make this really long truck not fall off this really narrow bridge. There you go, piece of cake. Total pro. Can't go wrong with it. And that Steve is a star. Oh, my chat got paused. Let me catch up here. Oh, unfortunately, Bardic cannot hang out. Bardic had to cancel Pathfinder. I picked that up earlier. That is a travesty. So whatever it's being canceled for, I hope you're doing something much better than that. There's nothing better than Pathfinder. Come on. Did my Pathfinder yesterday. We're getting started on Kingmaker. My party has finally hit the road. They are on the way to Oleg's trading post. They've actually just crested the hill and spotted Oleg's in the near distance. That is where we're going to pick up next week. I love with the TUI remake that they did, that they incorporated a bunch of the computer game stuff into it, because I never played the original Adventure Path, so having the computer game stuff to refer to has been really handy. The paths were misplaced. The math was not misplaced. The math is not invited to this stream. The math can suck it. But yeah, Steve had to cancel Pathfinder. Bardic had to cancel Pathfinder. Well, not like a bunch of other people around here, but I had a day yesterday. I had 6 hours and 45 minutes of meetings, immediately followed by 3 hours of Pathfinder. I gave it strong consideration to postponing it, but I decided to soldier through. It worked out okay. The paths done got founded. Half of my group, the older half, they really like the role-playing aspect of stuff because they played the murder hobo part a ton when they were kids. And then there's the other half, the younger half, that are all about the murder hoboing. And yesterday was right in between the big fight at the manor and then actually showing up at Oleg's. So there was a lot of role-playing going on in there. It was a good session, but at the very end, we still had about 20 minutes left. I decided, okay, you guys are on the way to Oleg's, and you are jumped by a random encounter because Fantasy Grounds has these awesome tables that you can roll on that just do it for you. And it was not a challenge for them, but at least the youngins, they got to murder somebody, so that was good. Look at that, a level 1 hype train. Congratulations, everybody. I hope you got all of the emotes you ever dreamed of. I think I've got all the level 1 emotes again. They finally added a few new ones, but I scooped them all up. I do love me some emotes. Which reminds me, I've got so many graphics plans for stream here. My original notion was that I was going to build, I don't know if it's going to be a full background replacement for the fireplace at the inn here to go with Friday's stream. But now that I might be streaming tomorrow, because Expeditions is releasing tomorrow, for Steam Deck at least for me, I may not have time to do that. But then I've got all of those extra emotes. I've got my list 85% done. That doesn't count as math because I pre-calculated it before stream. I've got 85% of the designs that I want for the emote slots that I've got available done now. I just have to figure out a few more plans. And then I got to start contracting one or more artists to actually do them for me, because I can make a stick figure cry. Not that you would know it by looking at it, because I can't actually make it look like that. Something tells me that going this way, because it looks like a viable path on the overhead map, means that it's a SnowRunner trap, but I'm going to try it anyway. There's no one else over here to come save me if it's not safe. That just means more content, because I'll have to drive someone else over here. That tower right there, well, that tower clearly doesn't exist on top. That's why we're driving metal beams over here. I'm going to leave it in this low gear. So we're just going to turn and burn our way up there. I don't see any rocks. Nothing appears to be leaning in an unforgiving fashion. I'm going to be very careful around this little sign in case it's one of the impossible to get around kind. And I only have to get the nose in. Boom. We're good to go. Oh, hey, I got something from Prop here. Getting back into some Starfinder. You know what? I have everything for Starfinder, and I have never once played a game of it. Hold that thought. There's something really important I got to remember to do here first. I have to unload these unpacked metal beams off Otherwise, it's going to do the, hey, would you like me to delete your extra cargo? And I'm going to accidentally say yes again. I think with that one off, I can deliver this one. Oh, damn it! I forgot to leave the extra beam. Oh, damn it! Oh, crap. Okay, well, small change of plans then. I'm not going to be able to just recover this truck back to the garage and do it quick and easy. Damn it, KDP, why didn't you remind me? That's okay, this will be a much faster drive back because I won't have to worry about the bad balance. I think that's going to be close enough for me to be able to repack. There we go, Power Lines 2 done. And that's another plant. Yeah, is that it? That's another plant that no longer need an independent generator. Oh, they got typos. I bet that means that the cabin factory up here... Damn it, let go of my cursor. The cabin factory up here probably no longer needs its generator, but I'd stopped using that a long time ago anyway. Ah, crap. Now I gotta drive this back over there. So that's why the warehouse is now available, because the crafting station is no longer there. I wondered what they meant by making a warehouse available. Oh wait, did I remind you too late? Yep, you did. This is going on your permanent record. I will have you know. Okay, additional complication. We are low on fuel. Good news. There is a trailer store in the little town over here that we just drove through on the way here. The bad news is that with this 3-slot bed, I'm not 100% certain that it will allow me to buy a fuel trailer in order to refuel. That is going to complicate things. That means I may need to go fish the Tega out of storage and make a fuel mercy mission. At that point, maybe I just drive the Tega over with the flatbed, have it swipe this thing, and then screw the Paystar. I don't know. I got a couple of options going. I got a minute or two to kind of decide what my backup plan is going to be. If I get to just purchase fuel, then we're good to go. Are you taking my raise from you? I don't know that you were qualified for a raise in the first place. Yes, complications. Well, it is SnowRunner after all. It's because I got too excited about actually finishing. I've only got one contract left to go, and I haven't even activated yet. But that's okay. I gotta get the fuel situation solved, because I'm in the red. I'm down to 39 liters. I'm sorry, 38 liters. I don't know, that rear frame does look like it sits pretty close to the end of the bed. I may be able to take a trailer on this thing. And as long as I can take a trailer, I'm good to go. Some of these trucks, they screw you over if you have the cargo crane on them, though. If you take the cargo crane off, you can mount a trailer. Otherwise, it decides that there's not enough frame exposure. Yes! Fuel container trailer. Okay, there it is. Now, wait a minute. Why can I not refuel off of it? Drink up. And boom. We're in normal mode, so we just sell it right back off. We don't care. Okay. Sorry about your fences. Sorry about your bushes. Alright. Keep them dogies rolling. We're going to go right back the way we came. All wheel is engaged. Once I get around this muddy turn, we're going into highball mode. And we're just going to cruise right there. There is There is a route right before the really narrow bridge. If you drive down the gully that bridge is over, that takes you to a little beach area. And it's possible to follow the shoreline right back to the garage. But getting down that gully can be a little dangerous, especially with a tippy truck like this one. But I don't have the extra unbalanced cargo on anymore. Do I go with danger? This is a good question. It's fine. It's like 2 months of gas in your experience. Oh. I can make a tank of gas go a long time since I've gotten to be a remote worker. Oh my god, where's he going? What is he doing? What is this madness? Why would he ever go this way? Because he is looking to provide content. We're going to bypass the top of the mountain and that narrow little bridge and the chicane that we have to make a 3-point turn to get through. And we're going to make a 3-point turn right there instead. And then we're going to drive down this scary-ass looking wash. We're going down to the beach. I know the scout vehicles that I've done this in have had no compunction about rolling over. I've tried towing a truck up this thing, and it has had no problem rolling over. I am just going to go hope that by pointing downhill, I might be able to go so fast that I'm just at the bottom before I can flip it. Okay, let me go to the low gear so I get a nice smooth power curve. If I really cared, I would winch onto one of those trees from the side so that I would avoid flipping, but I don't care. I'm gambling for you. Look at that, I made it. Oh, hang on, old bacon face. That's a lot of words. I got to put the old man glasses on to read this here. Between not commuting and being able to run most errands on foot. Ooh, gases for trips out of town. I'm a little far from stuff to do errands on foot. Portland and the Portland metro area is definitely mass transit crazy in the good kind of way. But I live in one of the rare full-on bedroom communities, so it's actually about a 1.5 mile walk to the nearest bus stop. And then from there, you could connect out to either a commuter rail or light rail. Now, I've thought about that for a while, but it's also the Pacific Northwest, so at least 3 months out of the year, it rains a lot. That would be a miserable 1.5 mile walk around here trying to do that, so haven't actually committed that. Let's go ahead and get downshifted. This is going to be a little mucky, but we're trying it anyway. I'm going to go, this seems like the shallowest water. That really means nothing in terms of mud depth, but sometimes it helps. See, the garage is just right there. You got ready access to so many bedrooms. I know, and they get so mad when you just show up in some of them when they don't know who you are. Although there are areas in the metro area that are a little more crime-prone is probably a little too generic of a statement, but there are some areas where home incursions are more common than in other areas, and that happens, and it's scary, and it's creepy, and luckily, it's not in this area. The area that I live in, the big crime is roaming packs of teenagers at 2, 3, 4 in the morning that like to wander through the neighborhoods and test car doors to find those that are unlocked. Because the one thing that I have noticed living in this area, as opposed to everywhere else I've learned, is that no one parks in a garage here, which is weird to me. I don't know why. Because I've lived in a lot of places now. Everywhere I've ever lived, the only reason you don't park in your garage is because it is 100% full of crap instead. And now, I'm not saying that that's not the case for me right now, But putting that aside... Oh, no, that's the wrong button. I need to stop. Everybody stop. But everyone else around here, they just park in the driveways. And a weird number of people don't lock their cars at night, and then they're flabbergasted when people steal crap out of them. Power lines 3. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's why I stopped right here, because I think... Can I do this while I'm in mode? Yeah, I can. I think we just have to drive up like Bingo Bango Bongo. So I got to leave the... Oh, and in fact, I have to deliver the metal beams first as phase 1 before I can even do the trailer. If I finish this, what's... Oh. And that probably addresses this factory's issue, so I won't need this generator anymore. I didn't craft a single thing over here. I never used that as a factory. And that's really weird. You have to build the reactor and the 2 cooling towers before you can do this. Maybe you don't. Yeah, you have to complete at least the towers before you can even do these missions. So you're done with almost all the contracts by the time you have this done. I'm not sure what the benefit of turning off the crafting stations is. I won't screw it. We've accepted it. Final contract. We've now got going. Let me come check over here on the driver profile. 99% North Carolina. 107 out of 108 missions. Everything else is completed. This is actually, yep, 99% on all regions. Oh, this is a good number to get back to. Oh, hey, this is... Maybe if I drive around to the other end of that guardrail, that's how I get around. Ideally, you do the bear bag solution for your car overnight. And actually, that's kind of what we do. Master Jedi and I, we have almost nothing in our cars most of the time. Just as a general policy, we rarely keep anything in our cars. We kind of go back and forth on the whole registration and insurance thing. Someone somewhere once upon a time assured us that it's a terrible idea to leave those in your car in case it's stolen because of identity theft, I guess. You know, because it's got your name and address at least. I don't think, generally speaking, they really have a whole lot more than that, but that's bad enough. I don't know what other risks that you're at. So for a while, we used to not do that, but it becomes so easy to then hop in the car and not have that stuff. I've always got proof of insurance in my wallet, so I'm always covered there, but I don't carry extra registrations around that way. Oh, hey, look at this. This actually was an intentional road. It's not where I put my marker down, but it's such a better road than where I put my marker that I'm going to take it instead. We got to get that horrible little trailer with them stubby little legs up this route. Well, that way we end North Carolina with an actual bit of a challenge. You know what? I'm going to take this one tighter because going around the rock's going to make me lean. I just want to drive over the top of it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this is good. This is good. That didn't take too much extra time to have to drive all the way over here again. And honestly, this way I didn't take the risk of it accidentally de-resing these beams when I was out of the area. Cargo management, deliver, stage complete. Now we want a series of tubes and wires. This does absolutely no good being over here anymore. So we're going to do some quick adjustments. We are going to take off the long flatbed. We don't need that anymore. There we go. The 2,800 liter fuel tank. That's what this truck normally sports. I make this... This is much better than a fuel mule. This is a full-on mule donkey. And then we can't do the crane and the fuel tanker at the same time. There we go. The Fuel Star is all ready to go when we get to Season 13. Retain that away. Right now, the Caterpillar is serving as Fuel Mule. It's hanging out here with the smaller tank. How big is its tank? It's It's an 1,800 liter, but it still has over $1,000 in there. I don't think Partizix is actually going to need it, but I'm going to leave it here just in case. I like to get a little too anxious in my cleanup sometimes. Oh, I know it's only 99%. Well, it's 100%, and then they release a new season, and all of a sudden it's higher every time. I think this time it actually dropped all the way to 88, I think. So I've had to bump that back up. 88, them's rookie numbers. The trick is to get them tattooed on your back so they're always with you, but don't forget to update the tattoos. Oh, yeah, I know. Every year I got to get a new tattoo. And, the laser stuff to get rid of them, it's rough. No, I don't want that. I want this. I got to come out to the big map, back to the Partizix. Now comes the real fun. You know what? Forget that rock climb to get to the tower itself. Here's the hard part. I got to figure out how in the hell to get this thing turned around. Because it's not a gonna wanna. And I am low on space all the way around here. Guaranteed that is not a coincidence. Good news is I got a ton of fuel, and this little town over here has a gas station, so I'll get to refuel before I even start on the way back. Let's see if I can back it up right alongside the tower, that gorgeously repaired tower. Oh no, don't turn that far. Yeah, okay. It held that turn a little farther than I wanted it to. So let's straighten up just a bit. Go. Ow. I will live with 2 points of engine damage. That is fine. Trying to get the front turn back. I don't need to drop that into the bay. That went over a really big rock. The tires are just hanging over the river there. It'll probably be fine. I'm sure it's not worth worrying about. Okay, keep going. I can't see through these trees. These trees are ruining things. I need the wheel to turn the other way. Turn the other way. Oh, that's definitely not a jackknife. Don't worry about it. And I can't play the fun SnowRunner game where if you can't see it on screen, it gets the simplified physics engine. Because this trailer is so damn big, you can't get away from it. Okay, I'm going over a rock. But I think this rock is fine. I think we're fine. I just wish the Partizix had a better horn. But I did scare up the fake birds. Okay, we're off. We're moving. Thump. Okay, going into high torque. We're going to test it out with this really heavy trailer, see if it can still pull the hill with it. Which is supposed to be the point of high torque, but sometimes we run out of the torque. No, we're looking good. We're still slow, but we're looking good. Out because I've got to slow down a lot for this corner. Yeah, I made it. I also found that if I drive from back here, you're so far away from the truck that the truck sound actually reduces. Navigate our way over to this gas station just to be sure that we're nice and topped up. We've got to avoid one pole, and we have to avoid one cover. I think we can do this. Drink up. All right. I think that's going to do us for fuel in North Carolina. Don't know where Season 3 or Season 13 is going to take place, but if it's in Europe, that means fuel is going to be more expensive, right? So, bathe in this $4 a gallon gas while we can. Actually, can you make out? Oh, no, don't hit the railing too hard. What is fuel here? Is that $3.47? Oh, man, we got a good price on gas here. Okay, we're back to cooking. Hey everybody, come with me back through the swamp. This time around, the ferry wouldn't have helped even if I wasn't a cheapskate. Ooh, there was a little engine damage. It was worth it though. Totally worth the trade-off. Should always top up when you go past a fuel station. When I'm playing here in normal mode, I always top up anywhere, anytime if I've got the shot. Any fuel trailer, any fuel truck, any gas station, anything, I always top up just to avoid that. I have had more cases than I can count where I have been in sight of a delivery point and hit that magic 10-liter point where the engine immediately starts bucking. Hang on. Did I have to squeeze to get this through? I think I had to squeeze to get this through the first time I drove it through there. No, it was the construction trailer. That's the one that I had to squeeze through because it has that overhang on one side. And of course it happened to be the side where that excavator was sitting. So we had to jimmy it a little bit to get it through there. This one is just tall. It doesn't really have the overhang. Other benefit to high gear here is that you stop with the shifting. Oops. Okay. We ran out of torque coming out of the mud, but it's nice when you can get rid of all that really loud shifting noises, like that one right there. Ooh, I gotta make sure that I can get the little stubby legs over. I think they've made the stubby legs on these trailers a little more stubby. I also think the Mastodon here sits a little higher when it's got the high saddle on, which also helps to keep them from scraping on the ground. Because so many times in Dawn especially, I remember, and I think Wisconsin, you get these big old custom trailers with them stubby little legs, and you cannot clear a single hilltop without them getting caught and then having to winch everywhere to get them off. The more gear, the better? The more gear sound, the not better, though. Here's one of these hill crossings. With the classic trailer and the old trucks, it would not make it. I think the construction trailer, I had one hill that I had to pry it over, but this giant tube, it did make it over here from the electrical station without any real problem. Oh yeah, and this is the one that I meant to go around. Oh well, too late. Because the party zigs won't fit between those two little white trees right there to take the water path, so I guess we're going this way. We're going to see how we do. What I did not want to do is dump the back end of the trailer over the edge and then have it roll everything, so I'm just going to try to not do that best I can. Oh, it's leaning, but it didn't go. Perfect. 10 out of 10, no notes. More mud. And that is the fun of snow running. Do I think I can do this? Probably not, but it's going to be fun to see. If I can't do it, then I get to play the secondary game of recovery, and if I can do it, it feels like a victory. Even if realistically I probably knew the whole time I could. It was just a matter of, did I want to take the risk? And the answer is usually, yeah, take the risk. Risk is fun. I'm struggling a little to get to the high part of high gear, but I think we're there. Already now planning ahead to how do we make a 135-degree turn between a power tower a guardrail and all those little rocks coming off the pavement. 5-point turn or 7-point turn? That would be a good bet to start working on. Is that degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius? I have this game set up. It is purely in metric, so that would be in Celsius. It's going to be a very hot turn. Fortunately, my tires are extra vulcanized, so I shouldn't have to worry about them melting. This tubing on the back of the trailer, though, I might be a little worried about it hitting its melting point. Oh no, I don't have the air conditioner unit on this. I put a spare tire on top instead. That's going to be bad for the driver. It's another of my standard stories. American Truck Simulator, I play in gallons and miles. This game, I have to play in liters and whatever arbitrary unit of measurement they put distance in. I've always assumed it's meters, but it doesn't ever say anywhere. And I'm not positive that those numbers actually change if you switch to imperials and you get gallons. So it may be megapixels or something. But yeah, for some reason, I play one in gallons and the other in liters, and it's weirdly complicated for me if I try to change. The one exception is when I play Euro Truck Simulator 2. I have it set to play in metric, but on the World of Trucks website that kind of administers these two games and does the central share point for data, I have a global setting of gallons, and then I've got a custom setting of gallons for American and liters for European, but it always seems to give me the global. So, driving the Euro Truck Simulator, I pass signs that are in kph, but all of the actual numbers that show up on HUDs and speeding tickets and things are all in mph, and it gets really confusing to try to play that way. And fuel, I honestly don't care about. I don't even notice the numbers. I just follow the little graphic gauge. When it starts to get a little low, I just put more in it, and it generates giant numbers. They could be gallons, they could be liters. I don't know. It gets up into the triple digits either way. And then it costs a small fortune to fill a truck. Big surprise. And then when you get really sleepy, the bed icon slowly turns blue, and then when you're super sleepy, it turns red. And then every time your eyes nod off on you, you get fined, which I don't think is the way it works in real life, but it's easier that way. The little tower is just right on the hill over there. Tell you what, I've only burned 107 liters out of my, 740 capacity. I'm still going to top up when I come past this Caterpillar up here. Just in case. Because where it gets you, this is a pro SnowRunner tip here, where it gets you is when you decide to do a great big bounce on a rock and it punches a hole in your fuel tank. Or it punches a hole in your oil pan. Either way, you start burning oil, or you start burning fuel like it's going out of style. And then there's a difference between 740 liters and, say, 600 liters. Nope. Oh, crap. No. I did this wrongly. I need to put gas back in the Scout. Sorry, Scout. Okay. Who else needs fuel? The Zix needs a little... Oh, okay, the Zix filled up from the Scout directly. That was a mistake. There you go. Everyone's fine now. I can't leave the Scout with 1 liter left, because that's not enough to fire it up and drive over to the garage to close out the season. Although he does... it's got full tanks on top. I guess I could have done it. That's okay. I feel better this way. I don't want to do my Scout dirty here at the end of the season. That just seems wrong. If I drive close enough, will that count as having been there? Yes, it will. Okay, everybody. Stand by. We're making a hard turn here. Although, oh, you know what? I actually don't have to make the 135-degree turn because I ended up not going that way. Let's see how many rocks I can climb over here. Oh, it's the adorable little car horn off of whatever sad truck that is. There you go. Those are some better ones. Get you a horny mix going. Okay, we're going to go to high gear here. See if that actually gets us a little extra speed and some shift stability. Nope, not going to do it. That's okay. Low gear it is then. This is a little rough for pulling this big a trailer, I guess. That trailer just eats up torque. Always seems to be the way if you finish a special mission, trailer mission, in the dark. Oh, I know, it's SnowRunner. It's SnowRunner in normal mode, so it's dark 85% of the time anyway. There is a certain amount of, a lot of these locations are really far north latitudes, and they kind of take place during snowy winter seasons, so if you want to argue that there's only, 8 hours of daylight, I could kind of entertain that. But, oh my god, here, North Carolina here, it's dark 18 hours a day even. Though at least this is one of those maps where at night, there's a lot more afterglow, so it's not as painful as night. Oh my god, Amur. It's part of the challenge of Amur. It's like pitch black during the 20 hours of night you get up there. The one frustration is when you finish one of these missions and you get the fun animation of something, but you have to look at it in the dark. Yukon kept doing that to me. You build the really big buildings and it does several spin arounds and all of this stuff, and it's dark so you can't see it. Here we go. Warehouse is now available. Brilliant! All the industrial sites are connected directly to the power plant now. That's what I call evolution. Come on, Sirenscape. I'll push the button. I'll push the other one, too. We can do it? We can do it? Nope. We're not going to do it. Give it a minute and a half, and then Sirenscape will catch up. How about the trombone? You got that? You got any of these? Nope. I'm out of sound effects. I'm burning fuel. Let me come take a look here. Is it not getting them at all? Stand by, please. Technical analysis underway. Oh, Sirenscape not responding? Damn it, Dan Servo, come back. I need you to troubleshoot. That one works. That one is running on the Jedi bot. That one will have to do. Congratulations. And that was only worth $8,000. I've had some of these worth over 20K, but that one was only 8K. And I'm whining about the $100,000 that was stolen from me when ruffians took the FEM, but I'm at $12.5 million right now, so I guess I probably don't really need the cash. Why did it not delete that trailer? Oh, okay. At least it's one that I can't take away and sell anymore. That's fine. You know what? I've left all of the other trailers where their final deliveries were made. In fact, the other two, you can't move them again at all. That might be interesting. Can I attach? Yes, I can. Okay. I don't want it, though. The other two trailers that you can't control, the generator and the prototype radar thing, they are now furniture. They are permanently locked in place on the map. You can't do anything with them. So we are going to recover you. Retain away. We're going to the Caterpillar. Normally, this is my recovery vehicle, so I'm going to recover it. Let's get it converted back over. I like to put this heavy crane on this bad boy. That way, when something heavy turns sideways, especially the custom trailers, This has enough oomph to actually lift them back up. And then other times like this one, I'll throw the fuel tank on, if that's the kind of recovery that it actually needs to do. So we've got our recovery cat ready to go. I'll retain that one away. We're jumping back into the Scout 800. Of course it's dark because it's SnowRunner. Here's the important part. 100% completion in North Carolina. 100% on all. 1,036 missions completed. They didn't think they'd get this far, as evidenced by the fact that they did not leave enough room on their user interface to get that last 6 to fully display on screen. Can you tell I do software development for a living? But that's okay. I will take it. I am all for it. Let me go over here. Actually, what I meant to do is come back over there. North Carolina contracts, tasks, all the trucks. I went through this list even a couple of times. The fam was just gone, eaten by the void, and most importantly, I got my gold trophies on all of these contests. For anyone who hasn't done them, these two in Flatland can suck ass. I hated these two because they're races, and they were mean, and they were asses. Screw them. Not doing them again. And then the achievements were all vanilla game only. So here we go. We're going to fire up. We got... Woo!
100%.
Thank you for the 100 biddies to celebrate 100% completion. Let's get a couple horns on. As a former Scout owner, I can attest to the fact that that horn is actually pretty accurate. It's kind of a weak, sassy little horn that International put on their Scouts. It's kind of a little sad, actually, looking back on it. When I did finally have to sell my Scout, I kept two things off the Scout. I kept the horn plate that went over the center of the steering wheel that used to blast the horn, and I also kept both shifter knobs. I had a manual, so I had the regular gear shift knob, and I kept the four-wheel transfer keys knob on. Hey! So we are recovered. We're taking a quick pen around to look at what we have accomplished here. There's our satellite TV up on the hill doing its thing. Move us to the garage. I love that I got the horns for this thing. It is so stupid fun. And look at those Jat tires sticking out wider on the side so it's a little more stable. Back into retention for you. And with that, at 4:30 in the morning, the map is clear because we can't move that trailer. We can't move that trailer, and honestly, at this point, the juice is not worth the squeeze to get that trailer off of that little hill and having to back it all the way down. Screw that. I ain't got time for that. And then all of our crafting stations are now free stuff stations. Wish I'd known about that earlier. So if I have to get back. I got to go back to the garage. Got to go back to the garage. There it is. From here, I can get to the menu. And we dump out. North Carolina is complete. Expeditions, a Mud Runner game. Releases at 9 a.m. tomorrow my time on Steam. I know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I'm probably going to stream it in the late afternoon, evening. Despite my cold coming on, I don't think the cold can happen midday on Thursday. It's going to have to wait until late in the day Thursday, or it might even happen shortly after I go to work on the morning Friday. I'm not sure about that, but definitely going to be moving on to expeditions over there. Oh, and look at that. It's already just sitting here waiting for me. Oh, you want to check if I can play it now? Can I play it now? Can I play it now? No. Nope, can't play it now. Oh well, that's okay. Oh, you know what? As long as I'm here, right before we go, I wasn't streaming this at the time, but I did think to hit the Switch record button afterward. This is us completing the reactor here. And I actually got an animation during the daytime. With the cooling towers in the distance. Oh, it was beautiful. The nuclear power plant was built. There we go. Get out of that. We don't need that anymore. Season 12, done. I already have my pre-purchase done for year 4, so seasons 13 through 16. Still got a year of SnowRunner Wednesdays to go, but now for a while, we're switching over to Expeditions Wednesdays. If I reach a point where I'm kind of topped out on those, I do want to do some more of the SnowRunner mod maps in multiplayer mode. It's been a while since I've done the multiplayer stuff. I've got to work on recruiting some more people to pop in on those. Start coughing midway through meetings Thursday. Well, I've got meetings. My meeting tomorrow morning, it's one that we have a group from India on. So it's really late for them, which means it's kind of early for me. 6:30 in the morning, that meeting kicks off. So I got to start work about 6 so that I'm all fired up, ready to go. My last meeting of the day, it's either 1 to 1:30 or it's 1:30 to 2. I know 1:30 is involved and around there somewhere. I don't remember if that's the start or the end, though. Normally, I work about 7 to 3 my time. That's why I work until 3, and then I start this stream at 4. So I've got an hour to kind of get myself set up, which gives me some time for any of those 3 to 4 o'clock meetings that go, or 2 to 3 meetings that go a little long, get those wrapped up. Some of my Wednesdays, they're going to be release days at least once a month now. Officially, if I'm on duty for the release, I may end up having to work right through my 4 to 6 o'clock stream time. So some coming SnowRunner / MudRunner / SandRunner in the future / Expeditions Wednesdays may end up having to get pushed to Thursdays. Can't be Tuesdays because Pathfinder's on Tuesday. That one's a lock. Can't change that one. That one's set. But we do have a release next week, but I am not on that release. So next Wednesday I should be good for continuing on with whatever Expeditions get started. I think I'm going to start it tomorrow on the Steam Deck. And then assuming that it still releases sometime in the morning, I may do a Friday stream on Switch. Then I can do a little compare and contrast. And I don't know, at that point, I may decide whether I stick with one platform or another for primary streaming purposes. The first full patch, which will be part of the Season 1 release content, probably in about 3 months, that one is supposed to have the multiplayer support added in. I would very much be interested in getting that going too. In much the same way I would like to get the SnowRunner multi-support going, or multiplayer games going again. I think I may have played one with XC. Ask Kampu played a little while. I think the Bardic one, he actually got to join in once. And of course, King Ninja. King Ninja's been very, very busy with stuff, but I think he has a couple of weeks of busy season where he works. He's doing some construction projects. I think after that, he'll be available. I should talk to him about getting in on some of these too. But tomorrow, the plan, which is not a guaranteed plan, is to do some Expedition stream off of the Steam Deck to see how well it plays there, see what some of the fun new stuff is, dive right in. I think the tutorial mission, it either takes place in Arizona or Colorado. I'm excited for either of those. I'm looking forward to that. And then on Friday, that's when my cold is really going to kick in. I'm not going to be able to work on Friday, so I'm definitely going to be streaming. I don't know the exact time I'm going to kick off yet. It could be morning. It could be middle of the day. It could be my normal 4 to 6. I don't know. It might be a couple of them. Depends on how exciting things get. Depends on how the weather gets around here. I don't know. It depends on a lot of things, but it is absolutely going to happen sometime. And then Sea of Saturdays, we're going back to Legend of Grimrock. I 100% innocent. I finally found someone in the dungeon who believes me. I don't know if they're still alive, though. So that's what we got to go back and check. We got to go see how their life is going. I think I am now stuck on a level. Oh, I'm stuck on the level where I was jumped by spiders. The doors, the portcullis slammed shut behind me, so I can't go back up to the prior level that has the blue glowy crystal. And I haven't found another blue glowy crystal yet down in the level that I'm on. So we're in danger. So that one's good to look forward to. So I've got my next several days of streaming all lined up. Sunday and Monday, that's too far into the future. I'm not going to plan anything then. It really depends on how excited I get about Expeditions. If they change enough stuff and make it enough extra fun over what we've been doing on SnowRunner, I'm going to try to squeeze a few more of those in. If it's the same as SnowRunner, I'd like to do 2 a week maybe, just to kind of get it going. And if they had multiplayer out of the box, I would definitely be doing that too. So, next few days are covered. I look forward to seeing everybody then. Let me take a very quick peek over here to see if anybody else is working their way through some SnowRunner right now. That is really weird that I'm not seeing that. I do see a Pacific Drive. That could be entertaining. I have to play some more Pacific Drive to decide how much I actually like it, whether or not I'm going to keep streaming that one or not. I think I got lucky surviving that first mission, which is probably kind of part of the point, I think. But I got to see if I'm any good at it before I keep streaming, because I don't want to keep just dying over and over. And that's kind of what the hell was the Metroid Prime Remastered turned into for me. I just kept dying. You know what? No one else is doing anything, so let me give you a little more disco music, and then I'm going to hit you with the goodbye screen. And then, hey, I'll see you probably tomorrow night sometime. Otherwise, Friday. Bye.